thank you to all my patrons. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. Oh, today we're going to be working on this little disgusting piece of mess that will look much more disgusting when we look under the microscope. This is a Macintosh Classic logic board. Here's a Macintosh Classic front panel. This thing has been battery destroyed, and so we're gonna try to work on this. We got a lot of bad traces. We got a nasty chassis. Let's go switch to the Big Bad Bench so you can see everything we got going here. We got a floppy drive covered in goo. Look at that. That was gooey. We're gonna set that aside because I really don't want to work with that right now. What else we got? We got a CRT. We got a chassis. We got another chassis. Hopefully we can get a whole Macintosh Classic working here today. While you're looking at this mess, do you want to look at some other mess while I say hi to folks in the chat? Let's go to this. Let's cycle through the pictures and remind you what this Macintosh Classic looked like when we started working on it. Oh, this is the analog board. I'll cycle through these and say hi to folks. All right, who do we got here today? We got all things DG. We got a lot of people here today. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We got all things DG, Francois Rival. Oh, you got to host an event at the same time. All right, well, thanks for stopping by. We got Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. We got Hardware Hacker. Hopefully Dave's Sunday eBay unboxing will look better than this. I don't know. I like to buy really awful stuff on eBay. Although I guess I like to buy awful stuff in real life too. We got a Hardware Hacker. We got Mark Anning. We got Garth Beagle. Boo, 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 boo. Socket Wench, hello. Jack 68K is here. Eric's Edge is here. No, we haven't had time to go boom yet. The Jack 68K. These pictures are traumatic. So yeah, this is what this logic board looked like when we look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is ugly. Oh, that's ugly. Ooh, this is a nasty battery. So this is what we took apart last weekend. This is the analog board. We haven't actually worked on this analog board yet. That's okay. That's okay. This is the chassis. The chassis. Oh, the chassis. Hey, Trina's Technobabbles here. Hello. Might be kind of dark for you to see there, but oh, this chassis was so bad. No, we don't want to go. This is I started taking all the rust off of the chassis. There we go. You can kind of make out some of the layers of awful, nasty stuff that we were working with there. Oh, that was the last picture. Oh, look, my actual hand was touching this. Yeah, no. Uh-oh. I DIY and Gut Bomb are going to yell at me for not wearing gloves. What else? So this was the whole board. Most of the board was actually okay. Just this corner down here was really bad. And so that's what we're going to be working. Oh, yeah, this was a good one. You can see that there's like flakes. Like the metal is kind of flaked and gross on the chassis. And of course, this was our thumbnail image. You can see some nice zoom in on the battery. This was the back of the board. There was, you can see it kind of leaked through. So yeah, that was that. And this is actually not the analog board off of this particular system, but it's the analog board we're going to be putting back together today. This one was the one that was in good shape. So this one was the one that splooged all that juice all over the floppy drive. So that was fun. But yeah, that's gross. So yeah, that's what we were working with. So let's put this fresh in your brain. That's what that chassis looked like. That's what that chassis looked like. And you want to see what that chassis looks like now? Ta-dow! Ta-dow! So it still looks terrible, but it actually looks kind of cool terrible. Hey, we got other people that have showed up. We got Ian Scott. We got Jamie's Hack Shack. We got Everything is Broken Garage. Hello, everyone. So, so this sat in Evaporust, and you might be able to see my hand through here. There's plenty of holes through this chassis. You can see the green better? I don't know. There's lots of holes. There's holes all over this. So this sat in the Evaporust for a few days, and it got a lot of it off. I had to flake more of the rust off. And then I have a rust gel, and I put that on there and did more. And so then what I did was I just washed it all off and clear coated it. So I think this is how it's going to live. Look at how pitted it is. Just look at the texture of that metal. Even the stuff that's solid is still pitted. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this because you can see the nice contrast between the pitting and the leftover like flaky rust bits. So this is all clear coated. This is good to go. So we're gonna use this one eventually. There's not a clear coat rust inhibitor. That's the issue. And so normally I would use something like the rust converter spray paint, but I don't know. I just really like this one. So I'm gonna leave this and see. You could fill the holes with JB Weld and stuff if you wanted to. Most of the rust is gone. I mean, there's a lot of rust, but compared to where we were at, this actually looks pretty good. Yeah, navel jelly is a good option, but I use a rust gel. So this one is not going back together. So the clear coat will act as a little bit of a rust inhibitor. It'll slow it down, but it's not perfect. This was our good chassis from last weekend, and even this one had a bunch of rust spots on it, and I cleaned up all the rust, and I also clear coated this one. I didn't paint this one full on because then I didn't feel like taking these things off. So we're at where we're at. The one thing I would like to do is just put a couple pieces together so that we have fewer things floating around the BigBadBench. Is that okay with everyone before we get epoxy fill it with backlight resin, or blacklight resin? That would be really cool. But yeah, I would like to get some of these parts off of the BigBadBench. Hello, Adam Baranek. I forget if I forgot to say hi to you earlier. So this is the fan out of this guy. I think it goes this way. I always forget the orientation. Because I got a lot of parts around, and it always helps to consolidate some parts. So Wednesday, we did, there's only 2 screws, and they go in opposite corner. Oh, I can see where the screws were. So yeah, this is the right way. More duct tape. All right, so our fan's held in by these long screws. This fan has been cleaned. It was pretty gross. One of the things that you'll run into with Classics and Classic 2s is that, because they do have fans, and those fans are towards the bottom of the case, they draw up a lot of stuff, and these little grates get filled in with a lot of gunk. So this has been retrobrighted. The front panel looks pretty darn good. It looked good before. There was a little bit of a yellow to it, but this looks way better. So we're gonna put our chassis on here. Let's put you on there. Plop, plop. Okay, that's all on. Gonna put a CRT on here. It's gonna be like that. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't done this with the 60 millimeter fans with Noctuas. I did do a stream a while ago where we replaced the power supply fan in well, I mean, it could be a Quadra 700, you know, the 2CI, a 2CI power supply fan with a Noctua, and it actually performed significantly worse. I know Ian Scott did some testing. I think it was on SE or an SE30, and the Noctua worked better in that situation. But I have not done Noctua fan testing in a Classic, so that would be a fun one. Jack68K says, fan noise is part of the charm of old machines. Yeah. Yes. Socket Winch said, clean benches are for the weak. Okay, so for these, for our classics, we gotta think about this. I always forget. It's been a while since I put together a classic. Yeah, we got a lot of short screws. So the only long screws we're gonna have for a classic are for the chassis when you put the back on the case. So all of these should be short screws on here. And again, when I put things back together, I turn lefty-loosey first until you hear that screw click down into the threads that already exist. And then start cranking down on it. There do seem to be two slightly different diameter, like on these old Apple screws. Oh gosh. So sometimes they don't screw in as nicely as you would originally feel like they should, but they'll be okay. But normally if you keep all of your screws together for one computer, it's fine, but since we were working on two here, we kind of made a mess. All right, what is... It's funny, speaking of old computer noises, my students always complain that they can hear the CRTs in my classroom. Yeah, that's one of the things that you kind of lose the ability to hear as we get older. We lose the ends of our hearing spectrum. I would imagine that would be much more annoying to younger folks than us. Although, some of you seem like younger folks than me. Hey, it's Mac84. He's ready. He's here to watch the mess. So right now we're just reassembling a chassis so that I can get some crap off of the BigBadBench, because I have too many classics disassembled in my shop. Oh my gosh, now I've lost a screwdriver down in there. Oh gosh, what is going on here today? What is happening? Oh my gosh. Get out of there, screwdriver bit. So I like to wait to tighten all the screws down until I get them all started. And this one, we're gonna check the CRT, make sure that looks pretty good, and then we'll tighten that one down, and we'll tighten that one down, and then we'll tighten that one down. And then we'll stick our analog board on. This thing I've recapped. It did look really gross. As you saw in the pictures, it was pretty bad. This one was not as corroded as the other one, but it did have so much juice, so much juice. It was juicy. So I don't know what the deal is. I think Bruce Rain has a recapping guide for the 250 volt chassis. I don't know if the recap is the same. The one thing I do know is that I previously made a recap Mac for a Classic 2, and it was slightly different than these. So I'm gonna make a new recap map for these. I don't know when I will post that, but it'll eventually be in the video description for this one. Okay, so if I remember correctly, when we go to put this thing back together, we have two different, you know, because Apple needed to make sure that you were on your toes when you're putting your floppies, when the chassis goes back together. There's a sort of a finer thread and a coarser thread. The coarser thread holds the analog board on. The finer thread holds the floppy drive in, and they're not like the normal 3mm or whatever. Hey, it's Rodville. Hello. I miss anyone else? Okay. Oh yeah. I haven't watched it yet because I saw the panel live. But Steve and Ron's panel, or just talk, whatever, from VCF Midwest was posted recently. Did they include Ron's stand-up routine from the beginning of that? Alright, now before we forget, let's put this on here. Do not power up your CRT with that just dangling around. It can make a mess. Okay, and now we'll put this on. We're not going to hook up the neck board yet, just because I tend to break those off. But we will do this because this is also another thing. You do not want to forget your grounding strap when you go to power up a CRT. That does angry things too. Okay, cool. All right, so there's our Classic chassis. We will test this one out. Should we test it out now? Should we see if this chassis is any good? I have not tried this one yet. So I do have a good chassis over here, just in case that one decides to be mad. So this is the the logic board that we recapped on, was it Wednesday that I did a stream? I don't remember what the days are. I did a stream this week where we recapped a this analog board and an SE30 or logic board. This logic board and an SE30 logic board. This one chimed. The SE30 did not. But if you're interested in seeing the repair process on that SE30 logic board, I did a stream, or I did a short about it. That was pretty awesome. I think it's probably the best thing I've ever put on YouTube. So go definitely check out that short if you're interested in seeing my repair on that SE30 logic board. Okay, this one I'm gonna put a keyboard on just because I think there's something weird with my image and I have to stop extensions from loading if we want it to boot. Okay. We got our ground on, we got our anode on, we got our neck board on. Oh, we need electricity. Remember, we always need to put electricity on these things. Thank you. Oh, well, that was not good. The switch was on. Always make sure your switch is off before you do that. Oh. So let's go to III DIY cam. And it's on. It's a little dim. There are some adjustments that we can make. An excellent chef, hello. Oh, I forgot to hit this might lock up. Oh, no, it's going. Okay, it's happy. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to control panels. See if this one has the brightness in it. Brightness. That's better. It's not great. 1 second, please. I forget my CRT adjustment knobs. Which one's which on the Mac Classic? Okay, so top one is horizontal size. Second one is vertical size. Third one is vertical centering. Fourth one is contrast. Fifth one is focus control. Second from bottom is brightness. So one thing I will mention is that sometimes you adjust this brightness one and it doesn't do a whole lot. But if you adjust the contrast one, that, uh-oh, that's not good. Something, oh God, we got issues with this analog board. Okay, that's not good. Oof, I just shut that off. Oh man. Okay, well that's not gonna be our tester. And that's not gonna be our purpose today. Ugh. All right, we're gonna go work on a regular. I'm gonna have to play with that analog board, figure out if I screwed something up, see if anything exploded. I did have excitement this morning before I started the stream this morning. I turned on my space heater because it was kind of cool in here, and my space heater caught fire. I was like, I don't think that's a good sign for how today is gonna go. So I'll futz around with that analog board. It could just need the pots are clean. This analog board was so gross. But all right, so this will not be our testing chassis for today. We're gonna switch over to a good known chassis when we go to actually do testing. Okay. All right, this is our purpose here today. This is our analog, or man, logic board. What is wrong with words today? This is what it looks like now that it's been through the ultrasonic bath. Reminder that, nope, not that yet. This one, not that. This is what it looked like first, okay? And so this is what this guy looked like before the ultrasonic bath. And this is what it looks like now. So the ultrasonic bath did a lot of good stuff. The thing it's not great is that that's still on there. This other sound chip still has some gunk, so we're gonna take that chip off. We're gonna take the CPU off because those legs look pretty bad. But the other thing we found is that there's a lot of bad traces here. So that'll be a lot clearer once we get under the microscope. But the first thing we got to do, pull this off, pull the real-time clock off, and pull this sound chip off. So that's our first order of business in getting this guy back together. Okay, so we're gonna use our hot air. So it should be, I should point out that the real-time clock chip is basically held on by dreams at this point. The couple bits are just barely holding it on. It's in pretty bad shape. Okay, sound chips off. Yeah, see, that came off real easy. That was barely held on by anything. Okay, so now we're going to take off the CPU. We have a replacement CPU already because this was from the CPU that I upgraded for using HKZ's. I upgraded a Classic using HKZ's accelerator board. That was a stream a while ago. That computer was at VCF Midwest, so if you want to see that, you can check out that short that I uploaded about that. Who else is here? Did I say hi to Gutbomb? Hello, Gutbomb. Mr. Tech Gadget, Julian Brown, hello. Bacchus, hello. If there's anyone else that I missed, say hello. Oh, I803866X is here, hello. And yes, if you could hit the like button, that would be swell. I'd appreciate that. So one of the reasons, aside from these legs looking really scarfy, I want to see what underneath this CPU looks like, because there's a lot of bad. There is a lot of bad happening here, and I want to see if it continues to be bad. Oh, that's not too bad. That's pretty great. This is going to be much better than I thought. Scarfy, S-C-A-R-F. I don't know if that's a real word. I don't know if anyone has ever spelled that out before. That's one of my words. I don't know if other people use that word. I do have the oscilloscope on just in case we need that later. Gutbomb, we haven't even started yet. I don't need to clean my tip yet. Just relax. So one of the things you might notice here, as we're looking at this board, smarf. No, that's not my word. Scarf. Normally, you know, like on boards like this, the vias are full of solder. But what happens is when the boards get very corroded and the solder turns to whatever it is, lead 3 oxide, and then you do an ultrasonic bath on it, the solder powder just comes right out of the vias. They are totally, like a lot of them are very totally empty, and a lot of times you'll see like a bunch of corrosion and stuff in a via. These are just like, it's so corroded that the solder just up and left, like it's gone, which is great because we need to put traces down through there and fix all that mess. But it's just interesting. I haven't seen loss of solder in vias so extensive before, so that was a fun one. All right, so I think before we get going too far, it's time to go to the dentist. So we're gonna do some eraser bit polishing here to work on this guy, because I gotta see. Yeah, there's no traces left anywhere over here. Oh yeah, this will be a good one. So sorry if anyone's dental is. Is there a phobia word for being scared of the dentist? You know, like agoraphobia of being outside? Or is it just dental phobia? I should probably know because I have that. I hate going to the dentist. Yeah. There's some traces that are no longer here. So for as bad as the sound chip looked, I think most of its traces are fine. Oh. Oh, this is not good. Oh, what kind of life choices have I made to bring me here? There's so much bad. Oh, we still got to look at the back. Oh, I didn't even think about the back. Oh, oh, oh. So yeah, Kai Robinson suggested just getting a reloaded board. Excuse me, I need a drink after that. That's non-alcoholic. That is probably the smartest move. I need a new bit. We've gone through my bit. Check 68K. Someone from the Macintosh Classic logic board engineering team is cackling right now. I don't think they were that malicious. Switch up bits. That's right. Fixing this one is not the jankiest move. Or, I mean, you know what I mean. Oh, R68. R68 yeeted. Boop. Okay. Bye, R68. Oh, yeah, that one's gone too. Yeah. Oh, so bad. Oh yeah, no wonder we're not getting down to the copper. There is no copper left over there. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's where we're at. Keep grinding. Eventually we'll find more traces once we start getting to the other side of the board. Well, maybe not with this one. All right. So, oh, I thought I saw R68 for a second. It's gone again. It's okay. Oh no, here it is. I found it. He doesn't look real happy. I kind of feel like we probably need to replace R68 anyway. I think it says 104. I don't know. We have another classic board that I know works, so we can look and find that later. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, that's some stuff. All right, so our next thing, let's clean up the residual solder from around the CPU, and then we'll start putting solder down on these little scraps of remaining trace. I think I have enough exposed here that I can start. This will be plenty to work with. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. At least 33 trace repairs that I can see just off the top of my head. Yes, you can get a classic reloaded PCB. I think Bacchus recently sent one over to Trina to work on. Have fun, Trina. Look at how fun all these traces are. Now you don't have to work with all the traces, but you do have a lot of soldering to do. Alright, so we're just gonna splooge a bunch of flux on here because we gotta coat all these traces. We got a lot of stuff. Okay, get on. Look, this is the two side sets of traces of solder pads do not go to anything on the real-time clock, but they're the ones that are still there, so that's great. All right, so what are we gonna do? We need some solder braid, and we're just gonna start sucking up our solder. Oh, look at that pad. That came right up. That one's gonna be great. Well, we have a bunch of solder on our wick. We're going to use that to coat all these traces. Just makes some of the work a little easier later on. Okay, one of the things you want to keep an eye on, and this was something that was, remember when we were working on those 2CI boards? One of the things I found when I was working on those is that one of my issues was caused by me because my solder wick was starting to fray, and one of the little tiny pieces of copper went and made a connection to something that it shouldn't, and that short was causing issues for me. Yeah, I would give up. This one, I don't know. This one seems like such a fun challenge. I feel like we spent a lot of time fixing those 2CIs, and yeah, you should spend a lot of time fixing 2CIs because they're awesome machines. But for as much as I trash on the Classic, let's see if we can help this little guy out. Maybe I just feel guilty about trashing on the Classic so much. But yes, I think just using a reloaded board on this one would be the much smarter move. I think most of the stuff you might need a new CPU. Like I said, we're just going to use a CPU since I happen to have one. And you might need a new real-time clock. Real-time clock chips, I think, are the same across a lot of older Macs for this one. Again, you see that I'm not pulling on my solder wick as I'm doing this. I'm just using my tip to move that solder wick around. How bad these traces are. You would likely destroy traces pretty easily. Okay. Alright, so let's go back over to here. Let's clean off a chunk of braid that we've been using. I803866X is saying I'm not using enough flux. That might be true because I'm cheap. Hello, Josh. Josh likes the retro coated silver trace look. I like it too. Gonna cut a little bit of that off, but we're also gonna leave some of that on in case we need to coat any more of these traces. Unintentional bodge. I like that. That's a good name for a band, Eric. What would you play in a band, Eric? I would expect it would be bagpipe. Electric bagpipes. Is electric bagpipes a thing? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay. No, we decided to do this. We're doing it. We are doing it. And I apologize. I did want to start working on the Power Mac 9500 and Tech Ambrosia's 8500, but there's just too many things a part of my bench right now, so I gotta get rid of some stuff before we continue on with that projects. I apologize. If you're here because I said that the other day, I apologize. But I think this will be entertaining. Maybe entertaining. I don't know. It'll be something. This is definitely something. You may witness somebody's continual descent into madness today. Further initiated. by a Mac Classic. Oh, we got a trace over here that's going to the reset line. That's really bad. Okay. And I think I want to do a little more over there. We got a lot of good traces though. That's a way to think of it, right? Who's feeling positive? Look at all the good traces that are on the board. Look how dirty this Q-tip is getting. Clean your Q-tip, John. Gonna have to get the Buzzy Deliac out. So one of the important, I think with the Classic, the reset line goes through the sound chip. So we do need to get the sound chip going. I think we can ignore the real-time clock to get started. I think it'll chime without it, but we gotta fix all these. These are not good. Oh shoot, I gotta polish the back of the board too, or do this, coat the traces on the back of the board. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fluxadoodles. Oh, actually, before I coat up this with a bunch of flux, I see a via that I'd like to address. Let's see. So these are K files. Oh yeah, that's better. These help you clean out the vias. These are also dental tools. I hate thinking of it, but they help with the via cleanouts. Where are we on here? Some of them are easy, some of them are not. But it does help. I'm gonna find a bigger one. I know I have some bigger ones around here somewhere. There we go. We need some big guys for this job. So these come in different diameters. You can see here, this is a 40. The one that I was trying to use was a 20. I have a bunch of 20s and 15s that are not. Oh, yeah. I think John missed his calling as a dentist. That's just mean. I could never inflict that much pain on people. Although I guess you're all watching this. This is pretty painful. I know I'm feeling it. Yeah, look at that. That is gross. It's just all up in there. We could theoretically, I like to run my trace repairs through the vias. We could also just, oh, there we go. That one popped out. You can run bodge wires around the board. I just like them to look neat going through the PCB like normal. Big bed endodontist, big bed dental chair. Ew, yeah, no, that, oh man, is that a thing on YouTube? Do people watch dentistry videos on YouTube? That is definitely something I would not search for. So you can see I'm kind of like using it as a drill. Gutbomb says you can watch dental videos on YouTube. And Jack says nope, nope, nope. I'm with you, Jack. That is a big honkin' nope for me. So the one thing I do worry about a little bit is that sometimes these traces lead to internal traces. Most of the time these vias are just bringing you from one side of the board to the other, but there are rare cases where the vias actually connect to internal traces. I'm hoping with the Classic, maybe if Kai Robinson were here, he could tell us if there are many internal traces around here, but I think with the 68020 you don't need that many. But this is, internal traces is one of the areas where I'm currently still fighting DIY's LC575. There was just an area of the board that had internal traces, and it also happened to be the area where the most damage is, and it's just fighting me. All kinds of bad stuff on YouTube. Alright, this via is fighting me. So where is that? I'm going to poke that through there and try to find it on the other side. Oh yeah, that was the one that we were looking at before, I think. All right. Socket Wench is going to have merch. All right. That via is fighting me. I also do not understand the appeal. So apparently dentistry videos are a thing. I never got the pimple popping stuff. I always thought that was disgusting as well. There might actually be some living solder down in there. Now let's flux up this area and see what happens. Oh. 1 second. Okay, Socket Wench, you can post links now. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. This is why we leave that little bit of solder coated solder braid. So we can polish more of the lip traces. Why do I feel like next weekend's stream's going to be, all right, let's do a SE or a Mac Classic Reloaded board. Oh yeah, I think they're all 104s. Okay. I think I see that. They're all 104s. We'll still double check. That one looks nice. We're going to reuse you for sure. That one's like brand new. For those of you who don't know, when you're putting your flux out and it wants to keep going, just pull the plunger back a little bit. Apparently, that's not a tip that everyone knows. And actually, I mean, it's a tip that I didn't know for the longest time. I wasted a lot of flux having it leak out all over my bench. Oh, that trace is gone. Bye, trace. Bye, trace. Or solder pad. Okie dokie. Time to start repairing. So, should we do this like systematically and thoughtfully? Should we start around the CPU? Yeah, we should probably start around the CPU. Okay, let's start around the CPU. All right, so for this kind of trace repair, we're generally doing shorter distances. Try to make that a little more in focus. Hey, it's Rudy's Retro Intel. Hello. I use Ethernet, right? So if you got some old Ethernet cable, maybe you ran your chair over it and broke the cable. Keep it around, because then you can use it to make trace repairs. This one started out as a 100-foot cable, but I DIY's board. I think I'm down to about a foot. Let's start over here. Let's do it systematically and smartly. Let's get an idea of what traces we're working with on the other side, so we know how much to feed through. So that's that guy there. So yeah, we're gonna need to let's feed some wire through here. Okay. So I think for a lot of these, what I'm gonna do is just bend them over, solder this side, and then leave it dangling on the other side, and we'll come back and do all the other side at the same time. So we'll just snip that one. Having some flux globbed on here can help. Look, these are not even going to be connected to anything. I love it. That one's going to be a pain. Okay, it'll be okay. We'll get through it. Maybe we can feed a couple through. Do them at the same time. Right now I'm just kind of doing a little bit of an estimate to figure out how long these are so I can cut them off. And then we'll start flowing them. Alright, so we got 3 traces in there. Let's get some tiny solder. I'm not repeating some of that. Oh, I need to clean my tip. Yeah, definitely. This is a situation where you want a nice clean tip. It helps the transfer of heat effectively and prevents your solder from not going places you don't want it to go. I might have just broke my tip. That would be a bad time to break a tip. Start on this one. Oh, I soldered my solder to the board. That was fun. One down. We're basically done. This will be no problem. I like what you said there, Jack 68K. Suggestion of a trace. And this one probably goes to over here. Nice. And I think what we'll do, I apologize about the glare. It's really annoying. We're going to bend this over and sort of turn this into like a little solder pad. A happy little solder pad. Well, not happy, but adequate. An adequate little solder pad. Hey, it's Mark from Millennium Max. Hello, Mark. Welcome to my nightmare. I can't say that. I chose to do this to myself because questionable life choices. Okay. So we have 3 half trace repairs done. Let's flip on the other board and see where they're supposed to go. The other side of the board. Oh god, I have no idea where they go. Oh man, this one goes 2 places. What the frick? Yep, they all go 2 places. Okay, shoot. One of those is not going to be long enough. Alright, whatever. We can do it. We can figure it out. We'll figure it out. Thanks, Rudy, for reminding people to hit the like button. I would understand if you don't want to hit that like button for this mess. Alright, what do we got here? So, this guy goes over to there. Come on, 3 dimensions. This one goes over to here. Yeah, I did not leave that long enough. That one goes there. And it's going to flip back around. This one has to go here and back down here. We might be streaming all the way until next week. How many hours are there in a week? Nah, I'll probably have to pee at some point. There are not enough hours in a week, that is for darn sure. Okay. You, sir, are an annoying set of traces. Oof. Okay, so you can see this one comes along here, goes through the via, and then connects down over there. Oh, and it goes to another via that we're going to have to repair, another trace that we're going to have to repair. That's super. All right, that's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Again, we're going to do a similar kind of thing here. But what if, can we fit 2 of these wires down through a single via? That might be the ticket. Yeah, we can. Okay. Yeah, that might be a good way to go on these. Sorry, the glare is making it very hard to see anything. We're gonna have to come back and take care of that again, but just getting it tacked down. Put you 2 together. Come on. Oh, you jerks. Oh, you jerks. Oh my gosh. Oh, what fun we have. So much fun we have. Like, I soldered that to a bunch of stuff. No, I didn't. It was just a flux. Bloop. Okay. Good job, solder. Okay. Oh. 104. Get over there. You're supposed to hang out over here. Oh, the jobs like this, so much flux, gets everywhere, so sticky, so sticky. Yeah, the flux is a double-edged sword. You really need it to do this kind of work, but it definitely makes things more complicated. Yeah, this one. Let's go back to the other side. Oh, something else just fell off. One of the diodes. One of the diodes just yeeted. Okay, set you aside. And like I was worried about from all the poking we were doing on the other side. That one fell off. This is a situation where solder mask can kind of help you out by helping hold things on. Actually, oops. there's two wires coming through there because we went in two directions. Cover that up and then snip off that up a little bit. There we go. Totally stable now. Oh. All right, so what are we gonna do here? We got this other trace that's kind of screwed up in between. So let's, oh, that little piece of wire just went flying. It's okay, we got a lot of Ethernet wire around here. So for this one, I'm gonna put you down here. Oh, actually, we just might make that a really long trace repair. Since we gotta fix this end here, let's put that one through the hole. Let's see where it goes. Where do you go? Oh yeah, that goes there. We don't need a ton. Let's take a little bit back out of this. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. Okay. I'm coming up with a plan. Pop that through there. Oh, come on. Everything is so sticky. And once it's like this, you can never clean it because the traces are so fragile that as soon as you clean it, everything just falls apart and all of your trace repairs are gone. This one is probably a situation where it would be better to use enameled wire. Go. So that's going to come along there. Going to bend you up to go up there. And that one's going to end somewhere about here. There you go. Hi, Rudy. Hello, newer ham radio Elmer. Just Repairing a lot of traces. A lot of trace repairs. Is it possible for me to stop and take a nap in the middle of my stream? There we go. Okay, now I got those brought together. That is so professional. That is some quality work. That one comes around where it's sort of attached to that little residual bit of trace, even though it's not really functionally doing a whole lot right now. It's kind of just like helping hold down this trace repair. Okay, so we're going to there, going through the PCB. Let's run you to where you need to go. So this one popped out over here. It's always fun when they go places. All things DG, no sleep till Mac time. Do. Oh, nope. Alright, don't do that. Get some copyright strike. I think they'd be like, no, we just want you to take that video down. Just, it doesn't have anything to do with Beastie Boys. It's just, that is the worst 6 hours of YouTube we've ever seen. Just stop. Oh, we got to repair that trace again. Oh, it comes down here, and then there's a break. Okay, it's okay. Everything's okay. Everything is okay, garage. It's a little piece of wire. Oh, that doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. More Ethernet cable. Feed more Ethernet cable into the beast. That is way too much. But it'll be okay. Sticky mess. Sticky mess. While I'm looking at this, I just want to see if that's actually a broken trace or just a dark spot. That's a broken trace. So I think what we'll do, we'll just run a long one and go all the way over to there for that guy. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, what did I tell you about that tip I had about pulling your flux back? Totally did not do it, and my flux leaked out. dip this little trace in there. Like a French fry. And bloop. This is a situation where 3 dimensions would really help. Come on, guy. Yeah, I've sort of remembered why I don't like to do tons of trace repairs on stream. Okay, that's lovely. All right, let's do that really long trace repair while I'm thinking about it, because I might forget that that is one that needs to be done, since it's just a tiny little divot, it looks like. How long do we need that one to be? That's the thing. The longer they are, the better control you get, but also they start getting a little bendy sometimes. Make it more likely you're gonna short something out on another place. Okay, so I think that should be pretty good. It's a little excessively long, but we can live with it. Oh. So I hope that this is nice, relaxing. Is anyone getting ready to take a nap? Trina already taking a nap? There you go. Nice long trace repair. Now, where does that one go on the back? Let's see where you went. Oh, that one only goes one place. Pfft, easy. Easy. Wait, what place does that go? Oh, it goes to there. Okay. This one's supposed to come out like this. Take a little jog down there. Kick back over to there. Cut you off. So, this week I'm going to be covering my friend's physics class lab. It's an electronics lab, so this will be fun. I never took physics in college. I took it in as a high school student, but it's basic electronics, so they're going to be learning about resistance and stuff like that. But just thought it'd be fun. She needed a hand. It's like, oh yeah, let's see what I know about electronics. Think I know enough to cover a physics lab. Okay. There's some good stuff there. All right, let's go back to the CPU area. Let's see, did we get those three finished? Yeah, they're going mostly where they need to go. Oh, right. Okay, so this one came out, it went that way, and it went that way. That one's still got to go further. Let's continue on with that one, since it's the part of the same trace. Yeah, maybe if they finish their lab early, I'll be like, hey, let's use your young eyes to help me do some trace repairs. I think they're going to be using breadboards though, which I've never used a breadboard, so I better learn how to use a breadboard. New England sweatshop. Yes. I do have a very big pile of Mac SEs that I need to finish putting back together before next weekend. Because I would like to take them to the MIT Swap Fest and get rid of some stuff. Put those kids to work. Okay. All right, so where did you pop out now? Oh, right next to the other guy. Okay. I've never watched a Ben Eater video. I have been looking for some new stuff. I should look into that. That's a name that keeps popping up. Little tiny bend in there that I don't like. Get out of there, you jerk. Okay. That'll be okay. All right, so that's one more. How many have we done? Anyone keeping track? See, I like having these right here. See how we have a via trace going to a broken via? We can sort of reinforce our trace by sticking it through that via. Theoretically, we might need it. Okay. Let's do this guy. And if you're still awake, if you could hit the like button, that would be cool. Ow! Oh, I just burnt my finger. Ow, sorry. Excuse me. So many trace repairs. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to leave that for a second. Squish it down. One of the reasons, like I'll have a little bit of solder here on my tip. But if I have too much, a lot of the time you can like bridge. And so I gotta be careful. Oh, and then you totally like dislodge everything. There we go. Flip. Where do you need to go? You need to go over here. Give that a little jog. And then do this thing. There we go. All right, should we do a little beat mode to see if some of these repairs are actually working? Because some of them should go over to here. Let's see. Let's see if we can do some quick little beat mode. So if we follow this guy up along here, should him beep. Oh, it's that one. Yay, that one worked. That one worked. Yay! It's the little things. Oh, that one's definitely a broken trace down there. Now with this one. That's that one. That one goes all the way up to over here. Yay! Hey, Brad Bell. If you like Ben Eater breadboard stuff, look up Daniel Kendall's Project Plum. Aesthetics is very important. That's why we spend so much time on trace repairs. So I think what I'll do now, one of the things that sucks is you get little pieces of wire everywhere. Where's all my little pieces of wire? There we go. All right, let's do that one. That's kind of a long trace repair. Feed that through there. This is a little more than we need, so we'll use this little chunk to repair that other trace down there. Let's put it on there so we don't lose it. Where is it? Right here. This guy. This guy right here. That's the fun. That's the fun. Get one spot real nice, and then heat it up in another spot, and it goes whoop. Okay. All right, we still got beat mode. Let's check that. So this one goes over to there, and it goes all the way. Oh, I gotta fix the end of that one. Oh, I was on the wrong trace. Okay. Do that one. Why do we stop doing that one? Oh, because we made that little tiny bit. That's fun. Okay. fresh juice on there. That's good. Pull that one through a little tighter. Go. Boo, boo, boo. Wow, 33 people watching. Thank you so much for tuning into this. I know it's kind of I don't even know what the right word. Well, I know the glare is awful, and I apologize. So very soon I'll be upgrading my microscope, the camera and lighting. So hopefully our streams will have a little bit better visual appeal when we're doing a lot of microscopy stuff. See what's happening in that via. I think this is one that we might have to work a little bit. Yeah, there's gunk in there. Oh, see, I gotta be careful now. Gotta be careful now. And this is one of the reasons I try to clean the vias before I start doing too much work, because you see how like the flux gets everywhere. Gonna make a mess when we try to clean out the vias. Kind of makes it harder to do what we want to do. I think we might have hit some decent solder in there. I think that's that same via that was thwarting me previously. Got two here that are kind of angry. Thanks, Garth. If I was a surgeon, I probably wouldn't be doing YouTube. Probably be on my second wife. Very, very quiet. The capacitors are sleeping. Okay, so I'm gonna try put a little flux in. You can't really see it. See that via? I think I'm close to freeing that one. I think what I'm gonna do is I have a slightly bigger diameter wire, and I think that should fit into a lot of these vias. Yeah, this wire is plenty. It just gives you a little bit more to work with as far as rigidity. put that in there. Flux it all up. Add a little bit of fresh solder. Oh, we're not going to do that. If that starts transferring heat, we're going to just undo all of the things we just did. But we're going to use this as kind of like, hopefully, a hot drill. Oh, God. Oh. See if we can use this to melt any of that solder. Sometimes you can use the oh man, oh gosh, the K files to do this kind of work. Really like to get something through there. It's kind of wiggling it. But the copper, you can get some nice heat transfer down in there. You could almost kind of see there was like, oh, there it goes. I think it went. Nope, it didn't go. Didn't go. It fooled me. All right, let's try the K-file method. I actually had to use, oh, there it goes. Okay, that's better. I had to use my trace repair skills yesterday to fix my thermostat in my house. It got cold, so we needed to turn the heat on. The thermostat didn't work. It turned out the batteries had leaked. Broken a bunch of traces in the thermostat. I thought about doing a little emergency stream about that yesterday, but it was only a few. I803866X has to fabricate a taillight socket for my parents, but their car isn't anywhere. Okay. Whatever reason you're watching, I appreciate it. Even if you're stuck without taillights. So that little bit got destroyed. Okay, well, let's continue and see what's on the other side from here. That'll help us dictate how we want to do this. Where did you pop out? You popped out there. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is get a new longer piece and run that through there. That was a very angry via. That was an angry via. More Ethernet cable. Come on, John. One moment. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm so sticky. Okay, there. Hardware Hacker's back. Oh, look, I forgot to do the thing. Oh, John, do the thing. Guess it's warming up in here. Okay. All right, now we got this mess to deal with. That was a very nice trace across there, but by the time we got done blowing out that via, we destroyed the very nice trace. Ah, the fun. Ah, the fun. So bend, we'll do a little U-turn. We have space over here. We'll be okay. Little U-turn. Boop. Oh, jeez. You can't see what I'm doing there. Sorry. Okay. There we go. Now we'll do that. Okay. Oops. Lay down, little guy. Lay down. Little trace repair. Okay. Let's go a little more. There we go. That laid down nicer. All right, let's make sure we still have connection across all of that mess. Okay, there's that. That one's done. Is there a trace of hope for this logic board? It looks pretty bad. I don't know. What do y'all think? Is there going to be a chance that this thing actually works again? Alright, so I think all of the trace... Oh, no. We got a few that... Oh, yeah, all these still need to go to the CPU. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's poke this one through here and see what's happening. Where does you go? Where do you go? That one just goes over to there. Okay, so we don't need much space. Let's do this side of this one first. And yes, hardware hacker, I know you were making a pun joke kind of thing there. Sorry. Oh, my tweezers were upside down. Uh-oh, I think we're getting to the point of the stream where I can't see straight anymore. That's not good. All right. Flop. Okay, this one. Where does you go, guy? Oh, okay. So see this guy right here? That's a via that doesn't go anywhere. This one, I think. Oh, we might need to clean the board off so I can see where that was supposed to go. Let's clean the board off. You can see my mess even clearer like that. No, okay. I'm gonna grab another board just to double check. Ugh. I'm pretty sure that via does go in place. So that one, yep. Okay. All right. So this one comes along through these two. That disgusting trace goes to that. This one comes over here to this guy. There we go. Okay. No problemo. Well, I guess this whole thing is sort of a problemo. All right, so let's put you in here. This is why it's nice to try to get as many of those vias cleaned out before you get started with the trace repairs, because it kind of just makes everything work a little more smoothly once you're going, so you don't have to stop like we did for that other one. There we go. Nice little bend on the end of that. Looks like it belongs there. All right, well, where's that go on the back? What do we got happening back here? Yay, this one only goes one place. So nice when they only go one place. Oh, that actually helps a bit. Okay. Can't reach my solder. It's now my spool of solder is being used as the as a rack to give this thing a little bit of an angle to reduce the glare. Oh, but this is a downside. I can't get the right angle. Oh, look at that. I disrupted a trace. Oh, I disrupted a trace. Yeah, this hurts from a different respect. Okay, it's on there. Let's just double check our beep. This one comes out of there, goes, I think it goes over to there, yep. This one, are you still connected? Yep. And you? Yep. And you go all the way over there. Yay. And this one? Yay. Okay, we're doing things. We're doing it. We're making things. Steve Zundert, hello. Well, from the Netherlands. Hey, it's One Bit Fever Dreams too. Oh man, you missed a lot of fun so far. We are having a blast. This is just excitement, non-stop excitement of repairing traces. So many traces need to be repaired. And if you're joining late, yeah, I know. I should have just bought a Classic Reloaded board. I like doing things the wrong way. Oh, one bit. You might think this is funny. I mentioned earlier in the stream that I'm going to be covering my friend's physics lab this week. They're learning about resistors and current. I'm like, yeah, I never took physics in college. Yeah, I can cover a physics lab in college. Okay. That trace is on there. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. Where do you go? It's always an adventure when we get one on one side and then flip it over and see, where are you supposed to go, you little guy? Yeah, 12 volts to ground. That's an important lesson to learn about electronics. All right, where are we at here? Get you so you can see where I'm going. Where am I going? Oh God, I lost it. Let's get big solder and use that as a rack instead. Does that still work? That almost works better. Oh yeah, we're going over here. I missed all things DG comment. On the edge of our chairs with good back support. Alrighty, so there's that one. What do we got now? Let's get this guy because I'm going to forget that there's supposed to be a via there. That one doesn't even look like it's supposed to exist. Let's just going to bend the end of that over a little bit. And then feed the whole thing through. Man, I really hope some of these don't meet up to internal traces. Everything is so sticky right now. Everything is sticky, garage. So much flux. These little resistors keep going places. Stop going places, little resistors. Oh, yeah, look at you. You're there. Nice job, little trace. Okay. And where do you need to go? Yay, it's another one that only goes one place. Oop. Does this angle thing help? Does it make it a little less awful to watch? I'm gonna futz with this one, and I know that's gonna make it disconnect. Dang, Trina, that's harsh. There we go. That's better. Oof. What a friggin' mess. Oh, are you kidding me? This little guy, I think. Let's see. What about over here? You any better over here? Oh, man. Even more. Even more. I don't know. Oh, did that almost do a thing? Did that beep? Look at that. This one did not. All right, cool. Always happy to be background noise for fixing other stuff. That's awesome, Steve. Yeah, I haven't fixed it, Bacchus. Just finding more bad. Just finding more bad. Oh, that was that. All right, well, we needed to work on that anyway. Although I guess we don't really need to work on that today. I think we're going to wait to do this area. I'd like to just focus on things that I think are probably important. What happens when we put this guy in here? Do we actually need you? That might terminate a bus. I don't know what these are. R88 through R90. They might be like termination resistors, but let's try to focus around the CPU area and get the CPU back on first. Let's see if we can do one thing. Let's see. Get in there. Get in there. Totally cannot see straight anymore. And this looks really bad, so yep, that is totally not connected. Fine, let's get some more Ethernet out. Let's toss a couple in there. How long have we been going? Oh my god, 2.5 hours. This is why we don't spend time doing trace repairs on a Mac Classic. No, I had no idea. That's you get into the trace repair zone, and it's like, let's just keep repairing traces. Whatever. Gonna leave that in there. Let's see where that goes. That one only goes one place, but it goes somewhere pretty far. Thank you, Rodville. I appreciate that. Yeah, we might need to stop soon. I was hoping to get the CPU on. That would have been nice way to test it, but I do need to go do some other things today. Oh, right, we didn't attach that one on the other side. Okay. Oh, fail. That one was a total fail. Don't quit now. I'm not going to quit on repairing the board. Maybe Trina would like to stream. You want to stream, Trina? You got enough stuff to work on. Trina picked up an epic haul of stuff that she's testing to sell for somebody. Definitely want to check out all the stuff she's been doing lately. Oh. What the heck, bro? All right, I think that's a sign that we've gone for too long. I'm going to put you in there. Hey, Mac84 is back. How you doing, Steve? We're still going. Still trace repairs. All the trace repairs. We're going to be ending soon, though. My eyeballs are starting to turn to goo. Although I guess eyeballs are sort of made of a lot of goo anyway, but functionally goo. Although I guess mostly it's just my right eyeball that's turning to goo, since my left is not doing a whole lot because my microscope only shows me one eye when I have camera view enabled. So in my house, we have, the house is connected to like several barns, and there's space between the house and one of the barns. Not very much space, but at some point they had put insulation in there, and there's enough gap that, you know, some animals can get in there. And so I have, last year, a raccoon got in there, and I was very not happy about that. So I decided, all right, I'm gonna take those walls apart. And it is it is horrifying what I found in those walls, in between the wall space. So this week I'm going to be donning the hazmat suit, and so there will not be a midweek stream like I normally do. Massive house project that needs to happen. But I gotta wait for a dumpster to get here. So I think tomorrow I'll try to hop on Dave's stream. Maybe we'll do some more work on this. Oh, trace popped off. Don't you love when you get to this point, Steve, when you start fixing one trace and then you break that trace next to it? Yeah, I think we're here. I think we're here at the end of today's stream. All right, does anyone have any idea how many of these things we fixed today? Oh, that one. Oh no, that's fine. They go to the same place. That's fine. Whew. What's with everyone wanting to put 12 volts through stuff today? Oh man, let's go back to the regular. Oh man, my right eye. Okay, so there's a bunch of mess that we did today. You can still see that we got a lot more mess to do. We made some progress though. I don't know how many traces that is. It's not enough. It's not enough. But we're making some progress. I'll count how many that was and update the stream description. Oh, I want to thank you all for joining me today. That was a lot. Let this be a lesson to everyone that if you have this happen, just buy one of the reloaded boards. They exist for this particular reason. Don't be a stubborn jackass like somebody. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, but definitely check out Dave's Vintage Apple Tech tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna try to hop on there and do some more work on this board then. And she wants to live. I agree, Sakawench. And yes, I've enjoyed sharing this time with you all. I appreciate the heck out of you. Like, I can't believe how many of you were here. Oh, Steve might stream some hot floppy action. There you go. Definitely want to see that. Hit the like button if you wouldn't mind. That would be swell. And oh, I need to thank my patrons. Every time I think about this, it makes my brain hurt that you all support me like this. So my Janka crew: Matt Hargett, Gut Bomb, Garth Beagle, Brian Garfort, David Starbuck, Ian Scott, Jamie's Hack Shack, All Things DG, Chris Angelis, Tech Ambrosia, Scout, Jack68K, Bacchus, and Asmodeus Deviluke. Thank you all for providing me with the Janka I need to do this kind of stuff. And my Jank team: Hardware Hacker, Mark Kruger, III DIY, Charles Bullock, Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, and Millennium Max. You all are amazing. I can't believe you support me like this. It's unreal. So I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you all. Difficult to open. Have a lovely week, y'all, and check out Dave's Vintage Apple Tech tomorrow. And as we always say here at the BigBadBench, if you are a Trumper, go F yourself. Bye, y'all.